Thank you for tuning in to Poetic Justice, hosted by the Chicago Westside NAACP branch. We are located at 5820 West Chicago Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60651. You can reach us by phone number at 773-261-5890. My name is Jamesia Banks.
And I'm Tara Levy.
Yes, and we are part of NAACP, and we will be having our first general meeting next Saturday at 1 p.m. at the location that we gave you above. And today, we are going to talk about Black love. So to talk about Black love, we're going to introduce a quote hosted by the famous Maya Angelou, and it says, "Have enough courage to trust love one more time and always one more time." So in the Black community, it is very difficult in seeing Black love, but Black love is very successful. Let's not take away from that. So today we're just going to give out a few tips on how to maintain that Black love. So the first tips we're going to talk about is called respect. So respect is going to be the foundation of a healthy, fulfilling relationship. If neither party has respect for each other, basic respect, that's going to lead to a destroyed, very bland, a very disrespectful relationship. Mm-hmm. Yes, and just by using respect, that can be using kind words, using gestures. It can honor someone, just showing someone that you believe in them and that you're respecting their space and their time. Another way is communication. If we are not speaking the same language, if we are not reading the same chapter in the same book, we are on two different pages, that's not going to be a good, successful relationship. So how do you go about communication? You want to make sure that you're listening to what your partner is saying and you're actually following what they're saying. You're just not hearing it and it goes one ear out the other. You listen to them say it the first time, you try to make adjustments, or you try to listen to what they're saying and do what they're saying. How do you feel about communication in a relationship?
I feel like a lot of communication is what you don't say. Mm-hmm. So like your body language, your tone, like not just your words, it's actually like how you're coming across.
Definitely. That
can be via text. Like a lot of, especially us millennials, like we are so text heavy and social media heavy, and that can take away from the core of communication effectively. And I would say in the past, like a lot of the issues that I've experienced in a relationship have been because of poor communication, especially via like text.
Yeah.
You know?
And I definitely like that you said nonverbal communication, because someone's actions is telling you how they really feel. Someone can be saying something to you meaning a whole different thing just based off their actions. Someone can say that I love you, but their actions are showing that they don't love you. Or someone's action can say, he can or she can say, I don't love you, but you know off of their actions that they really do love you, and maybe y'all just not communicating effectively.
Right. And I think a lot of times for communication styles, that's developed like from what you see. So what your mom and dad did is something like you probably have developed yourself in your own way, because that's what you were taught. And a lot of times, if, for example, if the men that I've dated before haven't had a strong positive male role model, they're sometimes lost with communication because that wasn't modeled for them. Like they don't know how to do certain things because that was never taught to them. And so now you're getting to the space of like, you're being 25 and you still don't know basic things that I'm assuming you should know. So that's an issue on both our parts with communication.
Definitely. That was a great point. Yes, and that brings us to our little last step of a healthy relationship, which is commitment. So commitment can be one of the biggest issues in a relationship, and that can really just fall off of having lack of respect and lack of communication, not knowing what your partner is comfortable with, or not knowing what your partner isn't okay with. And a relationship would not last properly or last this longevity without commitment. if you want to be in an open relationship, that will start with the communication, right? You discuss with your partner, okay, we want to be in an open relationship. We're just dating. We're not committed to each other. Make sure both parties are knowledgeable of the situation at hand. That's how we end up respecting each other's boundaries, right? So it all comes into play.
Yeah.
You need to respect, communicate, and make sure you commitment. If only one person is committed and the other person is not committed, you are showing that you have no respect for that person, and you are showing that you was raised to not effectively communicate.
Yeah, and I think that ties into a lot with communication. You have to communicate the level of commitment you're expecting from each other, because if I'm claiming something and you're claiming something else, and we're assuming that we're on the same page, oh, we have a caller.
Okay.
Hey, caller.
Hello, can you hear me okay here?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Just speak up a little bit louder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in a current relationship right now or whatever like that, and this girl plays a whole bunch of games, says she's going to call me back and all this other nonsense, right? And I'm trying to, spend time with her and everything like that. But it's like she tells lies and says she's going to call back, but then she doesn't. So my thing is, should I just go ahead and just move on? Because I tried to communicate with her over and over and over again. She thinks I'm being mean because I'm telling her about herself. In other words, pulling her hoe card, So it's like, should I go ahead and be a hoe or just move on? Because I'm tired of just being hurt over and over again. Can you guys help me out with that?
Do you want to take the first answer?
Sure. Okay. I would ask you, what's your approach in the way that you're addressing these issues? Like, are you coming in a space where you're hostile? Are you coming in a way that you're trying to be constructive with this relationship, and you're actually like taking a step back from your emotions and actually trying to have a healthy dialogue with her? Like, I would say first assess the way that you go about having this conversation about her not returning your calls. I've actually experienced that too from a young man. So I understand your frustration. However, definitely address that. But then I also challenge you to think, like, do you think having multiple women around you is going to fix that issue? Like, if you get rid of her, do you think having this whole card is actually going to solve anything? So just like take an assessment to see, like, how are you communicating with her? Is it effective in a way? And if you are communicating effectively and it's still not receptive, then maybe you should just take a step back from that relationship and then see exactly what do you want from your next one, whether that be multiple women or just taking some time out for yourself.
Definitely. And I agree with everything you said. It is, you want to make sure that you want to say that you're pulling her card or you don't want to use your card, because you guys obviously don't have great communication and you guys have a lack of respect from each other just of the tone that was being used. If you're looking for a solid relationship, you're not going to find it with many different people. You have to take time to isolate yourself and figure out what you really want, because you can't walk into a relationship and not knowing what you want, because then you're just going to take what anybody gives you, you know? And that's probably what she is doing, or that's probably what you are doing as well. You're just giving each other stuff without even talking about the standards that you have. So I would just take some time to reevaluate and really think to myself, what do I need? Because a relationship is love, is beautiful once it's the right person, but you do not need a relationship to be happy with your own life. Yes.
I want to touch on that.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, not assuming that caller was one, but a lot of people assume that if they have some other person, then they're whole. Or they're better half. And I truly believe that you are whole. You should be whole alone by yourself. You shouldn't need someone else to fulfill your needs. And if that is the case, then maybe there's an issue that needs to be solved first before you become attached to someone else. I believe that healthy relationships are with people who are healthy themselves before they enter the relationship. And I don't think a relationship is beneficial if both people are trying to figure out what's going on with their own selves and then bringing their issues to the other person. So I think it begins first with yourself, as cliche as it sounds. But self-love is important, having inner peace is important, so make sure you have that first before you try to give and expect to receive it from someone else.
Yes, because it will always be a revolving cycle, and all of your relationships will go this way if you don't really know what you want in the first place. That was a great question. Well, since we're giving tips again, let's just give tips on how to keep your relationship positive and thriving and make sure your guys are in this for the long run. So the first major tip I would say is remember why you guys fell in love in the first place. So it is very easy to get caught up in your daily lives, you know, you're working, you probably have kids now, you know, your boss calling you, your auntie calling you, and you're not really focusing on the other partner or their needs, you know? You're not making sure you are being the partner that you told the other partner that you would be. So you just want to make sure that you remember why you guys fell in love in the first place, and always try to come back to that moment, especially, you know, when things start to get rough. You want to make sure that you guys remember why you fell in love. Another tip, we have another caller.
Well, good evening, ladies. How you doing?
Good.
Wonderful. How are you?
This is Auntie Paula. You guys look beautiful on TV tonight. Y'all dressed in that pretty blue behind you, steadfast and immovable.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about something about relationships, young girl. Are you guys married?
No.
You got boyfriends?
No.
That's right.
The irony.
Friends. You only need one. Singular friend, not friends, just one. And you guys take your time, because a lot of times when people start out on a relationship, they expect too much out of a person. I am married 29 years.
Congrats.
To the same man. I met him. I spent almost all my whole life with him. You've got to feel it when you very first meet him. You have a 5 years itch after you get married. If you make it past the 5 years, you're usually pretty much going to make it all the way through. You got to have trust in a relationship. Even if you meet him for the first time on the internet or down the street or whatever, you really don't know who you're meeting. At first, there's two sides to every relationship, to every person. At the first time you're going to see him, you're going to see the good side. Now, here come 2-3 months down the line. Let's see if some flowers start coming. Let's see if some candy start coming, some nice dinners start coming, some kind of respect and love. And once you meet their parents, you're in. It's as simple as that. But a lot of these people out there in relationships, you got to remember, it's a lonely world out here. Some people, they'll grab the first thing that comes along, like that last guy. If that lady don't answer you on the telephone, forget about it. Dial somebody else. There's a lot of fish in the sea. Remember that saying? There's a lot of fish in the sea. You make sure you catch yourself a good one. Don't settle for anything less. Anybody put some time in them relationships, 6 months go by, all of a sudden he starts swinging. Hey, what are you doing? All of a sudden you start seeing him changing. Hey, you're getting a little rough with me. It's time to say goodbye. The way you say hello is the way you say goodbye. It's strong. Like it said behind you, steadfast and immovable. You stay strong. Because sometimes a relationship can hurt you more. You're better off being with yourself and get yourself a little dog or some kind of pet or a friend like you two sit next to each other. Ain't nowhere in the world that say you got to be married and have to have somebody the rest of your life. You just be friends, share your love. You look so beautiful. Look at that hug. That's what we need in this world, young ladies, is more love. Got to put the hate away, put the little Spanish babies and the niños back with their mama. They should have never let them go out of their arms in the first place. Ooh, wait. You think I'm going to go to a fence and throw my baby over the fence and go sit somewhere? Something wrong there. But don't let you stress that out. Let's talk about today and beautiful relationships in this world for a man and a woman and for all of us. And God bless you. I love my Can TV.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much.
That just touched my spirit.
It did. And she
lifted me.
Right? And she really brought us to our next point is, you know, when arguments do arise, what do you do? And if you want to make this relationship last, a tip will be is to replace your arguments with experiences. So what I mean by that is, like, if you feel like an argument is arising between you and your partner, or you guys have been arguing for a while, how about you guys take a little trip, go somewhere else? It doesn't have to be a $500 trip anywhere. You guys can get a hotel down the block. It's pretty hard to stay mad in a vacation type atmosphere, especially in a loving type atmosphere with your partner. So
yes,
that would be the next tip. But
have another caller.
Yes.
Hey,
Hi,
caller.
Hello. Yeah, I was going to say something about about the arguments in the relationship, right? I mean, you can't get rid of a problem. It's only going to make it worse. The reason why I say that is because later on down the line in the relationship, you're going to hold that argument against me somehow. And but then the problem that I have with my woman is, well, my so-called woman is that she never admits when she's wrong, but she's so quick to admit when I'm wrong, which I'm, like, rarely wrong. You know, I'm saying I do make a few mistakes, but she makes more than I do. You know, she can't even lie with a straight face. And like the lady called, the previous lady they called here, it's like, you know, I mean, she never admits, well, you know, what she does wrong either. You know, she said some good stuff or whatever like that, but love makes you do crazy things, you know. I mean, because I'm about to, at the end where I'm ready to cut this SOB off, you know, like, you know, in relationship. Because one day she's going to run across this crazy guy in Chicago or whatever, and they not going to respond like I do. I'm not being funny or mean. I'm just saying how it is here. You know, you watch the first 48 and all these other shows. That's why I'm not trying to scare you, nothing, but this is why a lot of these women come up missing, because they playing with a lot of guys' emotions and stuff like that, playing games. They didn't all start off bad or whatever like that. You know, they probably started off good like I did, then turned into this evil monster that made them do crazy things. So it's like, you know, where do I draw the line?
So, caller, if a girl is making you trip out like that, it's time to go.
Yes,
right now, go. And I feel like no one is going to make you do anything. She doesn't have that
Why
power.
can't she come clean? Why can't she come clean and say, hey, look, this is not working out?
But if
You have to
that's not the
accept somebody
person,
for who they
they
are.
are.
Accept them for who she is, not who you hope her to be. Like, if she is pushing you to that point, it's time to go, my friend. As hurtful as it may be, but no one should take you to that place.
Exactly.
And you're allowing her to take you to that place.
You are.
So that is time for you to go. Again, she's not forcing you to do anything. You are responsible for your actions, so you have to own up to that. But if she is pushing you to that edge, influencing you to do these things,
yeah,
it's time to go. Because that's not love. Love shouldn't make you do
respect.
those things.
You guys don't have no communication, and the commitment's not there. The three foundations that we're spanning
Say
is not
it again,
there.
girl. Say it
you
again.
need the respect, the communication, and the commitment. It's not there. If it's not there, then let's move on. As the lady was saying, there's plenty of fish in the sea. If love is driving you to hate a person, then that is not love.
Or do crazy things.
Exactly.
And I just want to have some type of transparency, just real quick. I am not in a relationship. I've never been married. I am not like this love expert, nor I pretend to be. I am just sharing what I've learned.
Right.
That is all. And what I can, like, give it advice to.
Because we've been in love before.
Right.
Right.
And I've been fortunate enough to have positive examples of black love in my family. My parents have been married for 27 years. My grandparents have been married for 60 plus years. So, like, I've seen what they've gone through. Not like all the nuts and bolts of it, but I've experienced successful black love and what it looks like. And I aspire to one day have successful black love and longevity. Like, I want to be married one time, whether that's, you know, get married 2 years from now or 20 years from now. I want it to be a one-time thing and to truly have that life partner. Not saying that's my soulmate, but someone who's compatible for me and that we can grow with each other. So, now that that's out the way, again, I'm speaking from what I've learned, not as someone who's like this expert on love. But truly, who is though?
Nope,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah, relationships are not like they were back in the day, but when our parents were coming up, like our, you know, grandparents were coming up. That they loved one another for each other. They weren't liking each other because, you know, they looked like Jay-Z or they were thugged out like Jake's the Disciple. Oh, I'm BB, I'm tough guy. They weren't like that back then. How come it can't be like that now? There's, like you said about the social media, they're so drawn up in this media and all this stuff, and you got to have this and that. Let me tell you something. I don't mean to sound like your granddaddy, no, but when you leave here, you're going to be butt naked on that autopsy table. You can't take none of that stuff with you. I hate to sound mean, but, why does it have to be about materialistic stuff and looks? And I don't judge on that. I'm not the best looking person in the world, but I'm damn sure not ugly. Excuse me for cursing, but that's where I stand.
Okay. Thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, thank you. So perfect. Let's just wrap up with these last few thoughts. So the next thought to stay happy in a relationship is to activate the youth in you. So we get to the relationship, usually like your third year, your fourth year, you guys acting like old married couple, y'all not even married yet, y'all still in a relationship, and everything is dying out, it's too slow. But the thing is, you want to make sure that, like I said, you remember why you guys fell in love and bring out the youth in you. Do some type of activities. Make sure that your partner feels alive, that they feel that love for you, the young love, No one wants a fading, dimming light type love. So just try to keep it intriguing. Try to keep it special. Just keep your spirit alive. Another way, a very important tip is make sure that you not only commit to your mate, but you want to make sure you commit to their evolution. So a person is always growing, and you're always going to be changing, wanting different things, needing different things. And when you want to commit to a person, you want to make sure that you're not just committing to the person that they are now. No one wants to hear you changed. You're not the same when I first met you, or this and that. Everyone's going to change and everyone's going to evolve. If you guys stay stagnant in a relationship, then that's not healthy for neither one of you guys, because that means that neither one of you guys are really living up to your fullest potential or living up to what you are here on this earth to do. So when you see your partner growing into the person that they want to be, make sure you're helping them out and, letting them know that you have their back and that you're encouraging them. That's what you look for in a partner. You're looking for someone that's going to encourage you, help them stay on their stuff, keep them motivated. Right. So just make sure you stay committed to their evolution and not just the person who they are at first. And one of the last tips is that you guys need to make sure that you, in a relationship, that everyone creates a collective vision. So where do we see each other in the next 5 years? Are we going to be where are we going to be homeowners? Are we going to be moving? Are we trying to own a new business? Are we going to have kids? Make sure our vision is the same. We don't want to say, I want to be in Miami in 5 years. And you're like, well, I'm trying to be in D.C.
Right. Or if not the same, compatible.
Right.
Because you two are so individuals, but like a relationship is like a merging. Right.
Exactly.
So is this merge going to be like beneficial for both, uplifting for both, or is someone like going down to come to somebody else's level, or is somebody like not quite there yet? So like, are you two compatible? Like, is this growth? Is this evolution going to be like growing together or growing out?
And that's where it all comes back to the communication as well. That's why the communication is just so important. You guys want to make sure that you know where you're going. But with these tips and these encouragements, we are just trying to make sure that, Black love
is out there, prospering.
Black women, black men, black man, black man, black women, just as long as it's love and respect and open communication. We want to make sure that we see more positive images of Black love and us respecting each other and us communicating effectively with each other. And we're going to be on this world for forever.
Right. And again, like, Black love plays into Black family and Black communities. So having a Black healthy relationship creates a healthy Black family, creates healthy Black families and communities. So this is like a small step to having peace and love in our community. So it starts at home.
It starts at home. And
actually, take it back. It starts with yourself, and then it starts with someone else.
It does.
That's the
from
first
a child.
step.
Yeah, you have
from within. Have that peace and love within, and then
self-love.
Self-love first.
Self-love first.
That's the truest Black love.
Exactly, because it's always number one before it's number two, right? So exactly, you gotta repeat that.
Yeah.
And keep it in there. But yeah.
And thank you, viewers, for watching. I hope if love isn't prospering for you, that eventually it does. And if it is, keep it up.
Exactly. And if it doesn't, if it's not right now, like I said, love is great, but it's not the best thing in life, you know? Love what you love about yourself first and do what you want to do. Make yourself happy first. And love will come its way. You don't have to force love. You don't have to change yourself up for love. But that was our episode on Black Love, and we will be back actually in September.
Yes, this is our last show for the season.
Yes.
But it's been such a great time, a great opportunity to be on KNTV, representing NAACP.
Westside.
Westside branch. Check us out again. We have our first of the month general body meeting next Saturday. That's what,
July.
I'm sorry, July. Wrong month. Same with J though. July 7th. 7th at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. at Sankofa.
Right here at the address 5820 West Chicago Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60651. And you can contact us at 773-261-5890. And again, I'm Jamesia Banks.
And I'm Tara Levy. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Have a great day.